So in the last class, we have discussed about the different uh, rectifiers. Now, even after passing the signal through the rectifiers, we are unable to filter out the AC component because the output, whatever we are getting, it is a mixture of AC and DC. So that's why to overcome that drawback, that is to overcome that ripple factors ripples from the output, we are going to use filters. So filters are the circuits which are going to remove the unwanted signal from the given circuit output. So we'll do filters. After that we'll solve the problems. Then that filters, so we are having different types of filters. So as you know, the basic meaning of filters is to remove the something which is unwanted. Here in our rectifier, the unwanted signal is AC component or AC signal that is being presented the DC output. To remove this AC component at the DC output, we are going to use different types of filters. So we can use capacitor as a filter, we can use inductor as a filter, we can use inductor along with capacitor as a filter, or you can use two capacitor and one inductor as a filter. So to the existing rectifier circuits which we have studied, we are going to just add this filter circuit parallel to the load resistance. Okay. So how it will be? So it will be like this. So it will be having the basic thing. Will not rewrite the entire circuit. We'll just represent the rectifier by a block diagram. This is the rectifier part, and the output of the rectifier is taken out. So before giving it to the load, we insert this filter circuit. Filter, and then we are going to give it to the load resistance like this. So here initially we are having an AC signal, and when it comes to the output, we will be having the rectified output like this. Then when it is passed, this signal is given as input to the filter, and at this level we will be able to get a signal like this, which is almost a DC. Okay, but practically speaking, it is not completely, it will not be completely DC. Even after this, we'll be having fluctuation like this. We'll be having fluctuation like this, but still compared to this one, it almost matches with the DC DC graph. So that's why we tell it is almost all the DC component is been removed. And also in filters, we are having an option to decide the ripple value. See, if you are okay with 2% ripple, that means if 2% of AC is present in the DC output also, we are okay. So then based upon that value, that means this will be taken as ripple value 0.02 value. So considering ripple value as 0.02, we are going to find out capacitor value. So based upon your ripple value, you are going to calculate the capacitor value. So this is how the filter circuits will be designed. So we are going to derive an equation for capacitor filter that we will be studying in the upcoming topic. So this is how the filters are going to work. As I told, there are different types of filters. The first one is the capacitor filter. Second one, inductor filter. Third one, LC filter. So inductor, capacitor, LC means. And fourth one is CLC filter. And even this is also known as the pi section filter. CLC filter or the pi section filter. So these are the four types of filters which we are having. Among this, in our syllabus, we are going to study the capacitor filter and LC filter for our syllabus. We are going to study capacitor filter in detail, and inductor capacitor filter, we are going to just study the working. First one, rectifier with capacitor filter. So the working of capacitor filter with any of the rectifier circuits is same. We can take any example and we can explain. And even the derivation is also almost same. Only one there is one step need to be changed. That is with respect to the time period. If we change the time period, the rest of the equations will be same. And please remember, just to confuse you, they'll ask is find the efficiency of full wave rectifier with capacitor filter. Okay, find the efficiency of full wave rectifier with center tap using capacitor filter. See, if they ask this question, please remember, I'm telling you again and again, the derivation of full wave rectifier with center tap, whatever you are having now, same derivation you have to write. No change in that. Only the derivation for capacitor filter is with respect to finding out the capacitor value. Only that derivation is extra for capacitor filter. Rest of the derivations are same, because the efficiency capacitor is not going to increase or decrease the efficiency. It is just going to filter the signal. So only the filtering process is taking place. We are not going to change any VM value or IM value by using capacitor filter. So whether you use capacitor filter or not, the efficiency will remain same. If you use capacitor filter also, the efficiency will be the same. Only the change what we will be having is in the ripple value. Only the ripple value will be changed. Rest of all IDC, IAC, everything will be same. Do confuse you if they ask like this, then you write the same derivation, but the only extra derivation is with respect to the capacitor designing. How you are going to find the capacitor value, that is the extra derivation we are having. Other than that, rest of the things are same. See, as and when sometimes I'll be telling the different question patterns. Please note it down, because at the end I cannot keep on telling them from the beginning. As and when the topic comes, I'll be telling you the important questions or the way they can twist. So if you have a textbook with you, write there only how this question can be twisted. Yes, that will help you in knowing the things better. So we can take example of any filters, rectifiers, either half wave rectifier or full wave rectifier. Let me first take the example of half wave rectifier. So as I told, the capacitor will be connected parallel to the load resistance. According to the basic principle of electronics, what will be the voltage across the parallel branches?
Same voltage.
Same voltage. Parallel branch will be having same voltage. That concept is being used here to filter out the signal. So I have directly taken the output voltage. Okay. So during, you know that during forward bias condition, diode is going to conduct and we are going to get this output. During negative half cycle, we are going to get zero output. So now when you are going, when it is forward biased, during this time, at this particular level, what voltage will be present? Before that, I have one more question. Is this, we see, whenever more than two wires meet at a point, we call it as a node or junction. Is this node and this node same or they are different? This node, are they same or different? These junctions,
Different.
different. Okay. Anybody? If you combine them, does it has some any effect on the circuit?
So it is
Yes, same.
same.
Same. Why same?
Because they are connected parallelly, right, sir?
Parallelly fine. I'm asking about the junction.
So it's nothing but the 2 points are shorted.
Yes, very good. See here, these 2 points are shorted. There is no, what is the resistance across this? There is no resistance, right? When there is no resistance, you can connect, we can combine these two nodes. Instead of connecting like this, you can connect it like this. So this is our resistance and here you are going to find the voltage. You can connect like this instead of connecting like this. See, please remember, whenever there is no resistance drop or whenever there is no resistance between two junctions, then both the junctions can be combined and whatever the voltage it will be having here, the same voltage will be here. Okay. Now, we are finding out the voltage at this point and this point, and I have told this will be the common point or the common ground point usually, because always we need to take across positive and negative. If this becomes positive, this becomes the negative. Now you tell me what will be the, if the voltage across this will be your V naught, means what will be the voltage across this? So just look in this point is same. That means if this is positive, this is also positive. And what about this point and this point? Are they same?
No, sir.
Huh? Common, no, common line. Everything is connected to ground. So this point and this point is also same. Now you tell me what will be the voltage across this point?
V naught.
V naught. Very good. See, if the voltage across this point and this point is V naught, means obviously at this point also will be having V naught. That means whatever the voltage, whatever the current that is being passed through diode, that is being experienced at this particular point. So whatever voltage that is being present in this junction, which is called junction voltage, that will be appearing across the capacitor. See here what happens is, for AC, you know that capacitor offers zero resistance. For DC, the capacitor offers infinite resistance. That we know it already. For AC, it acts like a short circuit. For DC, it will act like a open circuit. Now you tell me, at this particular, after passing the current through this diode, we are getting a current, which is a combination of DC plus AC. Now you tell me for DC, for AC component or AC signal, which is the least resistance path? Whether it's better option for AC to go through the capacitor filter, or it's a better option to go through RL,
Capacitor filter.
capacitor filter, right? Because it is offering least resistance, and you know that the path which offers least resistance will be considered by the current to flow. So that's why the current is going to flow through this point, and it will go to the ground. And I told you that the capacitor offers infinite resistance, or it acts like open circuit. But when it is, that is ideally speaking infinite, but it will not offer infinite resistance and all. But when the current is flowing through this, during that time, what happens is the capacitor starts charging itself. The red color line, whatever I'm showing now, this is the capacitor voltage, which is getting increased because of using this voltage. The voltage, whatever is appearing here, that voltage is utilized to charge the capacitor, or the current which is flowing through this will be utilized. See here, the entire AC current will pass through the capacitor and it will reach the ground. The DC components which are present here, that will get filtered here, and that will be stored in the capacitor. By using the DC current, the capacitor starts charging, and this is going to charge to the peak value of this voltage. What is the peak value of this point? VM, right? As we know that always VM is the peak value. So once the capacitor is going to charge to the peak value, after that, what is happening here? The voltage is dropping down. The voltage at this junction is getting reduced. But capacitor is designed in such a way that, or we are choosing a capacitor in such a way that it will not discharge easily. It will take some time to discharge. It can charge fastly, but discharging time is slow. So now, when this as already we know that the capacitor has reached the peak value of the voltage. Now you tell me whether this junction, I'll call it as node A. We can call it as node or junction, both are same, A and B. Whether node A is at higher potential or the capacitor is at higher potential. I'm talking about this point here. Which is at higher potential? It has already crossed, and the input is at this point. Sorry, the output is at this point. When the output is at this point, whether the capacitor is having highest voltage or node A is having highest voltage.
Node A is having higher voltage.
Node A is having higher voltage. Okay. Any other answer? See, I'll tell it again. See, now at this point, when the output is going to, at node A voltage is reaching this point, the capacitor will also reach this point. It has charged itself to this point. And I told you again that once the capacitor charges to the peak value, it will not suddenly discharge. It will not suddenly fall. Its voltage will not suddenly fall. It will take some time to discharge. It starts discharging slowly. See, it is just like our how our body, how we are having energy. We'll take the food. We might eat fastly, but the energy will not deplete fast, right? As soon as we eat and sit, the energy will not be lost. The energy is lost slowly after 1 or 2 or 3 hours. So we'll feel tired again. We'll take up some more food, right? In the same way, capacitor is going to hold the voltage for some time. even the voltage at A is going to this point. During that time, the voltage across the capacitor will be at Vm only. Okay, now according to this discussion, we came to know that the voltage across the capacitor C is at higher potential compared to this A. So now you tell me whether the current will flow from A to C or C to A.
C to A, sir.
Yes, it is C to A because always the current flows from higher concentration to lower concentration. So this is at higher potential, this is at lower potential. Now what happens is the current starts flowing like this, and as you know, this is the only available path for the current to flow. So this entire current is going to flow through the load resistance, and because of the flow of the current, so we can observe at the output the current is going to slowly decrease. The current in sense the voltage, the capacitor voltage is slowly decreasing. That means it is discharging the current.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I didn't get you, sir. Can you explain once again?
Which point you didn't get?
Sir, when you're depicting the points, I'm not able to make out which point you're telling.
Okay, fine. No problem. I'll tell it again. See, the red color line, whatever I'm showing, that is the capacitor flow, capacitor voltage flow. Okay, the already whatever I have drawn, that is the output voltage which is coming across this node. Now I was telling you at this particular point when the voltage reaches at node A, during that time the capacitor will also charges to this peak value. Okay, so the capacitor and node both are at same voltage. After that, you can see this blue color line, that means the voltage at A is decreasing. The voltage at A is decreasing means during that time what will happen, the capacitor is already having, or it is already charged to the peak value of Vm. I was telling that when capacitor is charged to Vm and your output voltage is dropping down, it is coming down from Vm, during that time capacitor will be at higher potential compared to the node A. I was just asking at this particular point what will happen. At this particular point, who is greater, whether the capacitor is greater or node A is greater at this particular point of the output voltage.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Now can you tell me which is greater, whether the capacitor or the node A?
Capacitor.
Yes, capacitor is at higher potential. So once the capacitor is at higher potential, after that the capacitor starts discharging. Now the voltage across the capacitor starts going down. So the energy will be released, the charges will be released, and that current will be flowing through RL. So and this the voltage discharge from the capacitor will go like this, and it will go towards the zero reference line. That means zero voltage. But by the time it is going down, what has happened here? The next signal will come again. So by the time it is discharging, the next signal has come. And now tell me at this particular point, this point, which is greater, whether the capacitor voltage is greater or node A voltage is greater.
Node A.
Node A voltage is greater. Now whenever the capacitor voltage is lesser than the junction voltage, again the capacitor will start charging itself and it will reach the peak value. Again it restores the energy back. Again when node A voltage is dropping down. Now what happens? The capacitor starts slowly discharging. It will start slowly discharging. When you are just going to analyze the capacitor, so you might have already heard about cathode ray oscilloscope, CRO. So it is a display device where we can see this waveforms and all. So if we can see, if you are going to connect that cathode ray oscilloscope to across this capacitor, we will be able to see this wave. Compared to this one, and this one, so this is A, B, C. Now you tell me among these three choices, whether A and C are near for matching, or B and C are near for matching. B or C, A or C?
A or C.
A or C. What is A?
It is a
What is
complete DC.
DC output.
DC output, right? So from this we can observe that after putting the capacitor filter, some of the ripples have been removed. At least this portion of the ripple, this portion of the ripple, this portion of the ripple is been removed. Okay, and we can observe a signal which is, it is not completely DC but partially DC. It is almost near to DC. If you use a full wave rectifier, no, the ripples will further decrease because there we'll be having continuous signal like this. So the ripples will be lesser. It will, because it is just going to graze the peak values. So that's why there in the full wave rectifier, the ripples are going to still reduce. This is about half wave rectifier. The same thing will happen in full wave rectifier. So let us discuss that one also, so that whatever doubts you might be having, you'll get cleared. So the working principle is same, but the only changes, you'll be having the cycle for half cycle for both the cases. So which circuit is this?
Center tapped full wave.
Yes, center tap full wave rectifier. So in the center tap full wave rectifier, here also what we are going to do is, just remember, filter is always connected parallel to load resistance. So load resistance is here. So we will connect a capacitor here. Even in the bridge rectifier also, in the textbook I have given example of bridge rectifier. Even in bridge rectifier also, where you are having load resistance, just connect the capacitor across it. That's it. Okay. Now we'll try to analyze the working of this. So this is the output which we have obtained already. So my question is same again, whether A and B, C and D are same or different.
Same only, sir.
Same. Why it is same? Why not different?
Because it is the extended parts only, sir, between A and B. Extra wire, oh, that's it. Otherwise, if we can join without joining at B, sir. We can connect C at A only.
Okay. Okay. So A and B, between A and B, you don't have any resistance drop, or you don't have any resistance. Between C and D, you don't have any resistance. So A and B are same, C and D are same. Now, what happens to we know that the voltage across the resistance, the load resistance will be V naught. Can you tell me what is the voltage across A? What is the voltage across A? This one. This one, or B, this one. What will be the voltage?
0.
0.
V
So
naught,
since
sir.
there's no resistance between A and B, sir.
No, pa, I'm not asking about between A and B. I'm asking at this junction. This is a junction, right? This is one wire, this is one wire, this is one wire. 3 wires are meeting. This is a junction or a node. I'm asking what will be the voltage at this junction?
V naught.
Yes, it will be V naught, because you see the load resistance is connected to this junction only, because either you can connect like this or you can connect like this directly, the capacitor. We can ignore this line. So when you ignore that, the resistance is directly connected to A. When you're telling the voltage across the load resistance is V naught, obviously, you know, the voltage is measured between the two terminals. Two terminals is what? A and D, right? Is it correct? A and D are the two terminals where you measure the voltage across the load resistance.
Yes.
So if you have any doubt, please ask me, because capacitor filter is very difficult to understand. A and D are the two terminals of the resistance where you are going to find the potential difference. Is it right or wrong?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
It's correct, right? Because B and A are same only, and I told you instead of connecting like this, you can connect it directly here, and instead of connecting here, you can connect it directly here. But it won't look good, right? Connecting directly to the center tap. But usually we'll connect like that only. To look it neatly, we are going to connect like this. Okay. Now, whatever the voltage which comes across this, the same voltage will be utilized by the capacitor to charge itself. So now capacitor is going to slowly follow the line. Whatever you have already got, this blue color waves, this is the output of V naught. So now the same voltage is being utilized to charge the capacitor, and at this particular point the capacitor will be charging to the peak value. Once the capacitor is going to charge to the peak value, after that it will, what it will do, it will starts discharging. Why it discharges? Why it discharges?
Potential across A decreases.
Yes, because the potential across A decreases, automatically the capacitor has to discharge, because always current has to flow from higher concentration to lower concentration. So when A becomes at lower concentration and capacitor will be at higher concentration, the charges will start flowing in this direction. Now the capacitor will be starts discharging. So by the time the capacitor is charging, at this particular time duration, maybe you can call this as some time t. What has happened here? This one. What has happened here? Our capacitor was discharging, but suddenly at this point something has happened and it is obstructing the capacitor to discharge. What is that? The next cycle has come. The next cycle has come, and when the next cycle comes, what will happen? What will happen to the old potential difference?
Potential across A once again increases, sir.
Yes, potential across A is again at higher potential and the capacitor will be at lower potential. Now again the capacitor will starts charging to the peak value. Again the same. Again when node A drops, the voltage across node A drops, the capacitor starts discharging. Again the same story. Again the potential at A increases. So the capacitor starts charging itself, and after that it starts discharging, charging, discharging. This process is going to continue. And if we are going to just look into the capacitor voltage, we can observe that we are going to get the output like this. Now you just look into this. Is it very close to DC signal?
Yes.
Okay, so this is how we are going to remove the ripples. That means AC components are removed. Because of the capacitor characteristics, which is going to avoid avoid the flow of DC and allows the flow of AC, the entire AC component will go to the center tap. What is the voltage at this center tap? This one, the arrow mark where I am pointing. What is the voltage?
V naught, sir.
V naught, fine. I was telling. See, between these two, it is V naught, right? What will the
Zero, sir.
voltage? Zero, right? Because the transformer ratings will be given like this. What is this? Zero indicates the center tap voltage. Okay, so 10 means the voltage across this. This 10 means the voltage across this. Okay, 10, 0, 10. So this is how rectifiers are going to work with a capacitive filter. So this is the working, very important. They can ask you, they explain the working of rectifier with capacitive filter and derive the expression for capacitive filter. Next we are having the expression for ripple factor or expression for capacitive filter. That we can do it in the next class. Okay, if you have any doubt till now, you can ask me.